welcome back to the channel. And I know if you've watched last week's video, then you probably know that I said it was going to be the last video that I was going to record in Tuscany. Well, I lied. I actually really intended that that was going to be the last video, but it's been busy in my mind all night long yesterday because look at this. There was a slight possibility of a cloud inversion here, and who wants to miss a cloud inversion in Tuscany? You know, no one does. So we looked at the time schedule and we have to leave our holiday home at 10 a.m. Which basically means I have 1 hour for photography this morning. Then I have to go back, pack the car and just make sure that I'll leave as soon as possible. But I just couldn't resist going out, and somehow I just kept driving through this fog because I came from this valley down here. But I just wanted to drive up the mountain to have a look over this fog layer here. But on the other side, there's another fog layer. Somehow I have positioned myself between the higher fog and the lower fog, and it just looks magical. But the only thing is, the layer is so thick that you can't see anything through it, and there are all hills with these land houses on it. So what I'm actually hoping is that this fog is going to drop a little bit so that these small islands are going to pop out of this. And that is what I am hoping to find here this morning. But yeah, we will see. I'm gonna wait here patiently until some spectacular things happen, and then I'm gonna take some nice images, hopefully. So I found my first composition here, just on the right side here. A land house just popped out of the fog, so you can see that the fog is retreating a little bit to the back, and that reveals small islands of buildings. And I'm actually thinking that I might be up a little bit too high, that it might be better if I'm more on the level of those houses. But it's quite risky to drive back down, you know. So not really sure if I'm gonna do that, but just look at this shot that I just framed up here. So you can see you've got this one house with some fog in front and in the back, and I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna cut it off eventually or gonna leave this layer in the foreground. But yeah, it just looks really nice. So the fog keeps rolling in and out of this one island with this land house on it, and it just looks really epic. And I got a couple of different compositions, but the one that I framed up right now, and just look at how this looks when you zoom out a little bit. You can see that the fog is now returning to this island, but you can really play around with compositions here. You know, you can move it a little bit to this side to include that. Oh. Now it's getting out of focus. Let's get the focus right. Yeah, you can include that shed on the right if you zoom out a little bit. But yeah, just absolute magical conditions. I can't say anything else. And right now you can see the sunlight is starting to hit that mountain in the back, which is way earlier than it was yesterday when I was here, when there was no fog. So yeah, definitely going to be epic conditions here, and especially when this cloud layer here is going to be lit up by the sun. Yeah, I'm really hoping for that. So a couple of minutes ago I took a couple of shots of this trees over there with a little bit of fog in that valley, the mountains, and then that red sky just behind it. Looked really epic. And I also took a nice wide angle shot of this valley on this side with that clouds, beautiful color in the sky, and then a little bit of this foreground here with all kinds of islands popping in and out. So there are so many opportunities on a spot like this, and I just want to show every shot, but it's just impossible. So yeah, you can see on the video footage right now, if I go back to the same island that you were just looking at, you can see that there's nothing left. It's totally disappeared in that fog, and that's what's happening all the time. It's rolling in and out and in and out. So much fun, you know. And I just set the alarm. It's now 6:15 and I have to get in the car at 7:15 to make it on time. And yeah, absolute crazy conditions. So yeah, I'm quickly gonna take some more shots. So these are the shots that I just took, also of this island that you've seen on this video footage. And yeah, a bit lost for words here, you know. I've never experienced a cloud inversion like this. Magical, absolute magical. So I decided to play around with my wide angle a little bit here, and it actually surprised me that I found a really nice composition of this olive tree yard down here. Just look at me, yeah, of this olive tree yard down here, and then you have this valley leading towards the fog in the back, a couple of those land houses on the left. Yeah, I'm not really keen about that. I think it's a fuel station or something like that on that hill. And then you have this whole valley of madness going around there in the back. It just looked really nice. The only negative, if you look down here, is this concrete brick here down in the bottom. But I will get rid of that in post-processing, you know. I'm not going to let that ruin this shot, but it just looked really nice. But the moment that I was photographing it, I noticed that the little farmhouse that I showed you earlier came out of the fog again, and that first light of the day just exactly hit that spot. So I hope that shot worked. I quickly switched back to the 150 to 400 and took that shot. But yeah, that's just what it is. It's just waiting, looking what's happening, and then reacting to something you see. Absolute magical conditions here, so that's for sure. So this is the wide angle shot and the little farmhouse in that first light. What more do you want? What more do you want? So you might think I'm crazy for leaving that spot with these conditions, but it takes a lot longer before the fog in that valley is going away. So these houses are popping out. So I just decided to reposition myself, because I don't want to get back home from a scene like this with only one shot that I'm taking over and over again. So yesterday I drove around this road, so I'm hoping to catch a different angle over this fog with hopefully some yeah, different opportunities. So yeah, let's see if that's gonna work out. If not, I'll just drive back. It's just 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm sure I can manage that. And I can already see a couple of nice images here on this side. So I think this was probably a good idea. So yeah, let's continue. So I'm just so happy that I drove into this road. You know, absolutely amazing conditions here. You know, this is the same shot as I took yesterday when there was no fog at all. But just look at this scene. It just really came to life here with that early light hitting it, the fog rolling in, this road leading towards this house, and then in the background you have a couple of islands coming from the fog. Oh my God, what more do you want? What more do you want? This might turn into one of my favorite images of the trip. You know, absolutely insane. This is what I hoped to photograph. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So this is the shot. I'm taking it at a 16:9, and this is one of the rare times where I actually got a 16:9 frame on my camera selected, because I just want to position it exactly right. And then it's just ISO 200 f8 taking this shot. There's more than enough light here. But yeah, amazing. And now I'm gonna go back to the car, take the 150 to 400, and then see if I can isolate a couple of these things. There's a large row of these suppressed trees over there with some fog behind it, which might be interesting as a zoomed in shot. So yeah, wow, amazing, absolutely amazing. So the road that I'm on right now actually went down into a valley, which got me into that thick layer of fog. And hopefully on the other side, as far as I remember, the road goes back up again, and hopefully I can see just a couple of minutes over that fog before I really have to get back home. So yeah, if there's one piece of advice that I can give you when you are traveling abroad to different countries, just stay in one place for multiple days, you know. I have to shift gears here for a second, but you can really get to know the area, and when conditions are as good as this morning, you know where to go, you know where the good places are, you know how roads are laying, and that's what I've been doing over the past 5-6 days, going here, driving around, looking at potential images, and now I'm just visiting them in the most epic conditions ever. Yeah, what more do you want? Absolutely amazing. So yeah, let's see what's on the other side of this valley. So I found another ridiculously good scene here, and just look, I have to stand on my car here and use the 150 to 400. I put it back in the car because it's a little bit of a sketchy scene here, but if you look behind me here, just in this gap over here in the back is a stretch of land that pops out of the fog. Little layer of nothing, fog, little layer of nothing, and then this mountain. And I'm just zooming into that little layer down there because there's a house on there with some nice trees. It just looks amazing. So this is that shot. So to be honest, I don't think there's enough time for me to wait here and until this fog is gonna drop. There's just too much of it. You know, could there ever be something like too much fog, you know? I can't believe that I'm saying these words, but I have about 20 minutes left and I don't see this fog going away within 20 minutes. It only seems to increase, you know, those buildings that I noticed earlier all disappeared in this layer down here. And the sun is up quite high, so shooting straight into the fog here also isn't that appealing anymore. So yeah, don't know what to do here at the moment. Quite tricky. I think I might drive back to where I came from, and then hopefully on my way back I will be able to photograph a couple nice shots. I know there's a bit of a hill in the middle where you drive over. That would be nice if that would just pop out of that fog when I'm crossing it, you know. But yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing conditions. I never experienced something like this before, a cloud inversion, you know, absolute magical. Yesterday, so while I'm standing here having this little chat with you, the fog just starts to drop from nothing, you know, absolute crazy. I couldn't think of a more amazing moment. And there's this one house here in the middle, I hope you can see it behind me, with a hill in front and in the back that's popping out of that fog, creating an absolute amazing shot. And this is a house with these suppressed trees, so really this Tuscan shot. But I was actually looking at a different shot when that happened, and I was straight into the sun back there. There's a sort of play with light on hills and with a couple of suppressed trees there, which looked really nice. And I was just thinking, what kind of photographer are you? If you see a shot that you have your doubts of, do you take it anyway and see at home what you're doing? Or do you just leave it and think, well, this isn't working, you know? I'm the kind of photographer that always takes the shot and then looks at it at home. So I hope this is going to work, and if it's not, I'm still going to show you, because I'm going to show you what I'm looking at, what the idea was of this image. So I'm quickly going to take that again and take this island, because this is getting ridiculously good, and these are these shots right over here. So this is it, the end of today's video. What an epic morning. I don't know if I'm ever experienced something like this, and it's quite a hard feeling to leave this place at this moment, you know, when there's so much more to shoot with still some beautiful light. But I have no choice, you know, I have no choice. I have to get back to the family, and that's the most important during this trip. And I'm just so lucky that I was able to be out here for 1 hour this morning. And look at the images that I got in 1 hour. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I just took a couple of quick shots here, handheld, next to the road. And on this side also, there's an old shack on top of that hill there with some fog behind it. Yeah, like I said, ridiculous conditions, and I'm gonna leave you with those shots. And it's about half an hour driving back, and then I will be back exactly at 8 o'clock, like I promised my wife. So yeah, happy with that. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please push that thumbs up button. You will massively help this channel, and leave a comment. I always like to engage with everybody watching this channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, then please push that subscribe button down here and the notification bell. Then you will get a message when I release my next video. And yeah, I have no idea where that video is going to be actually. So my trip isn't over yet, but I'm not sure. The weather is going to be bad again over the next few days, so maybe we are going back home early. No idea, absolutely no idea. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time, and bye bye.